And we are live here in Poly Pavilion here in Los Angeles. Joining me in the booth is none other than David Ware. David, again, welcome back. Game number 2 for you in the CSBA. Welcome, my friend. How are you feeling? What are you looking forward to? And we're in California, man. It's go big or go home.
Absolutely. It's a Friday night here in the CSBA. We got some great action tonight with the very young Providence team and UCLA. We are in for an exciting game. I hope it is a wild finish, just like the other night when Tennessee upset Michigan at Michigan.
Yeah, I know traditionally when we get these pregame warm-ups and the pregame lineups, it's pretty impressive, and I know it's going to be a good show as we see Up to No Good. The head coach, Libertines as well, his player. UCLA, again, they were a contention team in the pack. They also were, I think they were a Final Four team again, David Ware. And as you mentioned, T. Harris taking over Providence with a really great class as well.
Yeah, and they did. They had a great class. And so it is going to be fun to see what they do and see how they blend together. And then UCLA, they got a pretty veteran team, so it's going to be exciting to see how they perform as well.
Absolutely. Again, something to see as we see the starting lineup. I'm looking for Providence, for TJ Camden, Ray Tate, and Ricky Avery to get going. And for UCLA, I would say Up to No Good, and then maybe Jerome Raines. Is there players you're looking to watch on both sides there, David?
Yeah, I'm excited to see Ricky Avery, as you mentioned. I'm excited to see what his player can do. And, I always like to see big man play, so I'm excited to see how UCLA's big man play.
Uh-oh, turning into Wire 2.0. Be careful there, David. You before you know it, you got 10 centers and no point guards, man. As we get the tip here, Tabano getting the rebound, passing it to Sakamano. Again, the replacement for Tony Velez. Going to Up to No Good in the post. Just like that, easy money. I've said this multiple times last season. Up to No Good is one of the best post players. I'd say the best post small forward in the CSBA, David.
Yeah, and when you want to start the game out, you want to set a good tone. And look at Providence doing the same exact thing. Their very first possession for each of them, they have a dominating play that gets them points on the board. we're in store for a shootout, it's looking like.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams are really great. I think if they keep leaving good like this, he's going to take advantage of it. I mean, he's just a very talented player. He's got a lot of good teams pieces around him. As we see Akeem Ingram with the thunderous dunk. UCLA, they did lose Velez and Prince Snell, but they do return a good core group of their players from last season.
Yeah, and they didn't have to do a whole lot of recruiting. They got to kind of take it easy. They did some, but not as much as Providence did. And Providence, did a great job. Got some great key players put in place, and a lot of young guys. So can't wait to see how they get together.
Speaking of young guys, TJ Camden, 5 points to start off the night. Had 11 points in his first game on 44% shooting. Definitely starting off well for this Providence team.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what both teams need to do. When you start a game out, you come out missing a bunch of shots. It kind of gets demoralizing a little bit, but both these teams have come out on fire tonight. They just need to keep this pace going, and we're going to have a pretty high-scoring game.
Absolutely. You see Mario Tabano getting the inbound pass, passing it to Upton, no good, who's taking, looks like he was trying to get a screen, but Tripp drew the foul on him. Nice play there. Again, 14 seconds here on the shot clock. I mean, one thing we saw last week, Jerome Brains, the shooting guard, who isn't known for scoring at 25, David.
Well, that's a good offensive outburst. You got to love when different players are able to get involved. It really makes it hard to plan against when someone else is getting involved in the offense. Look at that alley-oop. What a play.
Absolutely. Speaking of someone else, Akeem Ingram, again, a player that really didn't score that much even last season. Really more known for his defense, getting started here for UCLA.
Someone was in the training room this offseason.
Absolutely. This feet Tate shooting the ball over Ingram. No good as he's passing it to Jerome Rains here. Passing it to Upton, who pulls up and misses it. Tough shot there as we see TJ Camden get the rebound. Pushing the pace here. Going to Tripp, who's stopped up by Rains.
These two teams are very similar tonight. Both of them, when they make a shot, the other one does. Both of them are applying some defense. I think we're going to have a pretty close game. And the second alley-oop, that is a huge play. UCLA trying to make some highlight reels tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's what O'Good does, man. I mean, he's a great scorer, but he's more known for his defense, as we saw the steal there. His alley-oop, obviously his assist. He's a great playmaker for this UCLA team.
Absolutely. And you got to just love how both these teams coming out on fire. Mm-hmm. And UCLA trying to take some momentum, kind of trying to take advantage of it right now.
Yes, absolutely. These teams really aren't too happy where they sit at. I mean, again, 2 weeks together. I think that's right. It's really important. Non-conference games, they get everything together. Coaches kind of get their lineups how they like, and they kind of just get into or ease into conference play.
Yeah, now if you're Providence, one thing you need to be concerned about, 2 fouls already, and they've both been out in the three-point land. So UCLA isn't even having to drive to draw fouls right now. That is something that Providence needs to be more careful of.
Absolutely. You see Danny DeVito, the bald wonder there, bringing the ball in. DeVito was clutch for them as he passes it to T. Baggins, who gets the shot. Buckets with the pass going here. Steele bringing it up. Man of Steel, I believe, is what he dubbed himself. We'll have to see if he deserves that. Anderson, the second, getting the ball. Tried a little spin move against DeVito, but no good there. Another steal.
I am going to miss. Yeah, I am going to miss tonight saying Morgan Freeman. That was awfully fun.
Yes, we had Morgan Freeman last night, David, but we have Danny DeVito tonight. As you see him get the steal and the layup. A really great player for UCLA last season.
And UCLA is coming out. They've got 10 points already. They've already had a couple steals, several fast breaks. Already thrown a couple alley hoops too. So UCLA is firing on all cylinders right now. Providence ain't far behind them, but they've missed a few shots and got some turnovers they need to clean up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm looking at these rankings, David, UCLA is at 15, Providence is at 19. Both didn't have the best Week 1 games, but again, I mean, it's preseason, or it's not preseason, it's non-conference schedule. It's really a great time to gauge yourself and see where you stand. So I like this matchup, and I do think these teams, they'll stay in the ranks for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think both of them are going to be in pretty good shape. As the season goes on, they get into conference play. We'll see a little bit more about who they are and what their true identity is. But it's going to be fun to watch for sure.
Certainly is as we return from that quick timeout here. UCLA off to a quick start. One thing about them is they're not the sexiest playing team. I mean, Jerome Raines does get some prolific shots every once in a while, but everyone else is kind of quiet. They play good basketball and just, they play great defense, as we saw right there with DeVito with the tip.
Yep. And right now, it's important. Providence needs to score on a good play here. We talked about it the other night. When you come out of a timeout, you want to execute on a play. You had 60 seconds on the bench. Let's see and he misses a shot. That's very disappointing, but plenty of time still. But you really want to come off a timeout and score.
Absolutely. That's definitely not what the coach wanted, as we see Jack getting the ball there for UCLA, passing it into the post, passing it back out, a little give and go action, no good. Jack hit a lot of those in last week's game, but now no luck on the first one here.
Providence pushing the ball down, trying to get down low, then brings it back out. They got to make those shots, but second chance points. Oh, he could not convert the and one. That would have been a great and one.
I believe that is Banazuski with the foul. Nice shot there. I believe that's Sir Buckets the third. Yep, Sir Buckets the third there with the offensive rebound. Like you said, I do think second chance points. I mean, I'm feeling a lot of scoring here, but I mean, when it crunch times, you got to play great defense, David.
Yes, you do, and you've got to control the boards. If you can control the boards and get to the free throw line, you're going to be in pretty good shape.
Absolutely, as you see him at the line. Last week, let me pull up the stats here. Didn't shoot a free throw last week. I'm sorry, he was 1 for 2. As we see him hit the first one, shooting a 50% clip. Again, game one. I mean, nothing to really scoff at. He's going to get things fixed out here for sure.
Yeah, Coach Lanson in the chat said, "Got to dunk that one." I would have liked to have seen him, go a little bit harder and maybe try for a dunk and try to get a little bit more higher percentage there.
Absolutely. I would agree with you there, but I mean, a man of steel, we've got to see him show it. I mean, this is his team, David Ware. Let's see if he can talk the talk and walk the walk, per se.
Danny DeVito looks a little bit taller than I remember in the movies.
Yeah, you see what had happened is Wire did something, and then Banazuski with the offensive rebound, giving it right back to Buckets there. UCLA taking the lead, 5-point lead for UCLA. A good offensive rebound there for sure.
Yeah. Providence right now needs to get some points, and they need to get a stop or two. They can't keep falling behind. They've got to. And Buckets right there draws another foul. So he needs to make sure he gets these free throws. But that's great right there. Get into the hole. They're down by 5. But if they can get UCLA in foul trouble and kind of get them a little bit on their toes, they can make a nice comeback.
Yeah, I mean, you and I saw it. I called the first game with Ted last night. You joined us in the second one. But the first game that I called, I believe it was North Carolina, if I remember correctly. I don't remember the other team. I have a terrible memory. But they shot Marquette, yeah, North Carolina Marquette, thank you. 20 free throws, David. And I think that was the big difference on why they took the game.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Shooting a 95% clip as he hits the third one. He's 3 for 3 on the night so far. Let's see if he can keep the momentum. Again, something to keep in mind, everybody who's watching. 5 fouls in college and you are out. That's 2, like a little under 2 minutes. So it's definitely something to look out for.
Yeah. And, I mean, anytime you can get someone out of the lineup because of foul trouble, you really kind of change the whole chemistry of the rotation. So really big for Providence to continue to push that. And UCLA with a nice give down low. That is great play right there.
Yeah, A.J. Cotton with a beautiful pass there to a cutting Jerome Raines. I really do think Raines will have to take over for Velez from last year as far as the scoring and playmaking. Up to no good's a great player, but I do think he has some offensive limitations, and I will look forward to see how he does. Rick
Avery hasn't really got going yet. I want to see him get something going.
Absolutely. I think we all want to root for Rick Avery as we see Banazuski with another rebound. Danny DeVito's pushing the rock here with the open man. T. Baggins with the dunk, David. That is great transition offense.
State Farm is going to have some choices tonight for the assist of the game. They are going to have some options, no questions asked.
I think assists are close to assets. I mean, they're important. They're of value. So I see where you were at there, David. We will flow right through this timeout. I do think, again, Providence just got to get things quickly back into the game. Kind of find their guy, David. I do think the best player they have is TJ Camden, but I mean, who else is going to be there for him? You know?
Buckets the third has been making plays tonight so far. He's going to have to continue if he can continue to get down low. And here we go, Providence. Oh, they almost had the nice play right there.
You see Novacek missing the layup, blocked by T. Baggins, David.
Some defense for UCLA. And here we go. They're going to, another one.
Wow.
And one. What a and one right there for UCLA.
As we're seeing here, David, these fouls are killing Providence right now. 3 fouls in less than a minute and a half, maybe 2. You've got to be careful with those sorts of things.
Yeah, and it's a 10-point lead right now for UCLA. Now we know that that's not too much to come back from, but you don't want to get down too much too early.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a defensive mastermind leading the team like Up to No Good, who is his player is great and he's also a great coach. I mean, he did so good taking over for Velez last season. I really expect UCLA to be dominant again. A lot of people are sleeping on them, in my opinion, and as we're seeing, they're starting off real hot right now.
I would have liked to seen them convert the and one. They did miss it, but let's see if that if they can recover from that.
The Thunder is blocked by A.J. Cotton. Dane DeVito's going all the way as he passes. He pulls up. No good. T. Baggins with the rebound. He'll pump fake. Another foul, David, by Markeith Teasley there. I mean, UCLA is killing the boards. Providence, they're fighting. I got to give them credit for that, David. But they're getting a lot of fouls right now.
They are, and they're going to have to be careful because at the end of the game, they're going to have some players on the bench if they're not careful at this point.
Absolutely, and we can't afford that. Walk-ons are great players, but there's a reason some of these players got scholarships, and they are called preferred players, David.
Yes, for sure. And, you want to try to limit your time of having to have the walk-ons on. You want your scholarship players on the court making them plays, and so not sitting on the bench because of fouls, that's for sure.
Absolutely. As he hits the first free throw, T. Baggins trying to make this a 12-point lead, and he does. A nice play there, and I always love when you see a player like T. Baggins, which is a funny name to say. A center hitting free throws is huge, David.
Yeah, it is. It's a special gift. A lot of centers struggle. A three-point shot, but he missed it. Right now, Providence has got to get a shot now.
Yeah,
they've got to figure out a way to get momentum going.
I like the action there by Steele, David. Just unfortunately, the shot didn't fall. We saw that from Michigan last night. I mean, credit to Tennessee. Michigan just wasn't hitting the shots they got. As we see T-Baggins going right back up at Providence, hitting the shot. The lead is 14 right now, David.
That was a strong move. He kind of just forced his will right there. Providence has got to step it up right here. I mean, it's all the momentum right now is UCLA. Providence has got to do something. They've got to get a basket.
Absolutely. We see Marciano Rosary with the shot. There we go, David. You called it. A 12-point lead there for UCLA with 16 seconds left.
Look how quick UCLA is getting up court. I mean, I love it. They got the lead, and they're still pushing it. But Providence can't stop them right now. They've got to stop them from scoring.
Absolutely. You see Mario Tabano getting the shot there. Steele's pushing it up. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Going to try an ISO. Deep three-pointer. Good if it goes. No good. David, great game we've got here. UCLA 24 to Providence's 10. I'd love to hear your take. Let's take a quick break timeout, and then we'll be right back with you, CSBA. Are back here in the second quarter. Scores are flipped. I'm still trying to fix that. Bear with me, CSBA. I appreciate the love. UCLA leading 24 to 10 to Providence's 10. David, what are your initial thoughts here through one quarter? I know it's early, but what are you thinking here? Are you with me, David? Did I lose you?
And we are back starting the second quarter. Providence got the ball to get started. Very three-point shot right away. What a way to start the second quarter for Providence. That is exactly what they needed. They needed to get some points and get them fast and try to stop the momentum. Here you go, UCLA again, going to the post, drawing another foul.
Absolutely.
Bono with a great play, drawing the contact. Let's see if he can get some points right here.
Absolutely. David, can you hear me real quick? I'm not sure we're on the same page here.
Providence has stayed in foul trouble most of the game to this point.
That's what's happening.
They've got to be a little bit smarter and not foul. If they're going to foul, they can't do a Jeff Mel foul, as Wire would say. They got to make sure that they don't make the basket.
Absolutely.
Zach should be joining us back here in a moment.
I can hear you, David. I think we're having a little bit of a Discord
Bono converts
issue.
on the first free throw.
Bear with us, CSBA.
So let's see what he can do on the second one. We are sitting at a 12-point lead right now for UCLA.
Let me see if I can fix this. Bear with us.
And Tabano converts. He is 2 of 2 on those free throws. So a big lead right now, 13 points. Providence bringing it up. They have got to get a basket right here. They've got to stop this momentum. Make a 3-point shot. Can he make it? He is not able to get it. UCLA bringing it right back up. Nice score. It's with the ball. They're going to take another 3-point shot. Providence, there you go, a 3. Interesting.
David, can you hear me? David, can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me. We're trying to fix this here while not pausing the game. CSBA, Ingram passing it up to Good. Foul on the play. CSBA, I appreciate you working with us here. Give us just one moment. I'm not sure why this randomly stopped working. But David, I don't know if you can hear me. I appreciate you doing play-by-play. I heard everything you said. You did spectacular. As we saw, Providence cutting the lead down to 12. UCLA with 28 to Providence's 16. As you see TJ Camden bring the rock up. Spin move, passing Good. Trip, decides to not take it. Passing it back out. Passing it to Rosalie. Deep 3 ball, and he hits it. Providence is up 19. I'm sorry, Providence with 19. UCLA's 28 here. So we see UCLA moving around here. Tough shot in the paint. A nice rebound with Mario Tabano. I saw her in chat earlier. She's killing it. She's loving staying in UCLA. And she's got to be loving that Cali love right there as we see TJ Camden bringing it up for Providence. UCLA's 30 to Providence's 19. Nice little backdoor action there for Trip. Trip taking the screen from Tate. UCLA, I mean, Good is just all over the place there. Akeem Ingram with the defensive rebound. Good passing to Jerome Raines. Pull-up shot. We're seeing a lot of that from him. No good. Good rebound there by Trip. Trip passing to Avery. Going to Rosary. Alley-oop pass. Tate converts it there as we get a quick little timeout here. CSBA. We're going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to try to fix it and get David back in your CSBA. It is 30 UCLA to Providence's 21. We'll be right back with you.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
CSBA, we are back in action. David Ware, I don't know what happened there. I think it's a Discord glitch or something, but we've got UCLA's 30 to Providence's 21. Thank you for taking that play-by-play there for the minute while I was fixing that.
Oh, absolutely glad to help. Providence in that downtime was able to make a comeback. Get the game a little bit closer. I'm liking what I'm seeing. They're making some shots now, and they just got to keep it up and keep the pressure on UCLA.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to you while you were calling the game. TJ Cameron, again, making his impact known for Providence. Steele had a nice play there. I'm really liking what I'm seeing them so far, but UCLA is just showing their dominance as they go right back to Good in the paint. They're going up for the post move, and just like that, again, Good, one of the best paint post players at the 3 I've seen in the CSBA, David.
Yeah, and you got to be happy that Tripp didn't get another foul there. Providence is able to play without getting another foul. So that's a big thing for them right now.
That's a really great point, David. As I'm looking through here, they got Tripp and Teasley Jr. Tripp's been guarding him as we see Tavano get the rebound. But they're I think it's just Ogood's just bully balling them. I don't think they're bad. It's just Ogood's just a better player in the post.
Yeah, he's made a lot of strong moves. I mean, he's definitely hard to handle down there.
Yeah, absolutely. You see Reigns not getting a pick. I think they're trying to go to the post here. They do. A little mismatch down here. Ingram's got 3 seconds, 2-1. Post hook. Nice move there. Great recognition of the shot clock as well.
What a hook shot right there.
Absolutely beautiful move here. It's a 13-point game. Lead for UCLA as they go to Tripp. No, it was tipped there by Jerome Reigns. Again, the thing about Reigns is good. When they're on the floor together, that is a scary defensive group, David.
It is, and they've shown it tonight. They've got a lot of blocks. They've already got several steals, and they forced a lot of missed shots. So that defense has got to keep the pressure on for UCLA.
Absolutely, as we see Marciano Rosary coming out of the game there. Looks like, reading the numbers here, Royce Anderson the second checking in for him. Tate on the outside, not known for the shooting, more of a paint player. Trying to draw the center out, though. I do like the concept here. Going right to Ingram here. 5 seconds. Not a good idea. Ingram is a great defensive player. As we see Banazuski getting the rebound or the tip pass. DeVito going to Jerome Reigns with the block by TJ Camden.
Good defense. That Providence needed that. They did not need UCLA to score. Great job with the block.
Yeah, David, I know you and I were talking about this as we were coming into the second quarter. Providence has got to lock up on defense there.
Yeah, and it's plays like that that help give them the momentum and confidence they need to make some more.
Absolutely. You see Reigns and Ogood trying to get a little action inside here where the inbound is going. Ogood backing it. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Huncho Jack, excuse me, who's just known for doing exactly that, shooting the ball a lot. As we see the pull-up shot, no good there. Rebound by Novacek.
I love the screen that Jack set to be able to set all that up, though. He set a great screen, moved without the ball, and got the ball, just couldn't convert the shot.
As you see your man Buckets going up in the paint. Nice post move there, David.
Yeah, Providence needed that. It's now an 11-point game. Providence needs to make a few more of those and stop UCLA from making a few of them.
Absolutely. Again, Huncho Jack to beat over core parts. Another screen by Huncho Jack to Ogood. You called it there, David. Those cuts by the the off-ball players are huge.
Yeah, and Ogood, he down low, dominating, and then he's going to go up top and shoot a three. That's a talented player right there.
Absolutely, one of the best. If you see Buckets, you called it. You'd like to see Buckets going, and he's doing just that. They're not able to lock in on defense.
Yeah, but last night we saw a really tight defensive game. Tonight we're seeing more of an offensive game. We're seeing some defensive plays, but we're seeing a lot more shots being made tonight. A lot more points tonight than we did last night.
As you see Banazuski getting the ball back there on a weird play, passing to Vito, getting the assist there. UCLA with the lead back up to 14. Novacek getting the ball up top, bringing Akeem Ingram out. Looks like they're running a backdoor cut for Huncho Jack. Passes to TJ Camden, who's been lucky with those shots and no good there. Good rebound there by up to no good. Passing it to Akeem Ingram, giving it back to DeVito up top. I think they're going back to a good here, David.
Yeah, and if you're Providence, when you get this ball back, you need to take a timeout. They have got to stop this. It is 41-25. They need to get across half court, and they need to call a timeout.
Yeah, they definitely need something, and you called it there, David. Again, the thing about Ogood is he's a great shooter. He's a great post player, scoring the block, but he also, he just got a nice assist there. Now, if I'm Providence, do you switch on him? What do you think you can do to neutralize him? Because what's dangerous about star players like him is he doesn't have to score to impact the game.
I mean, I think they need to try to get some help on him. I don't know that one person alone is going to be able to stop him. I think they're going to have to throw him off a little bit, bring some double team in here and there, just make them think a little bit more and force him to make some passes. And if he can make them, then great for him. But you got to hope that he can try to make them, and maybe you can force a turnover.
Absolutely. As we look at all 30-something people in chat, Libertines, head coach UCLA, of course. We've got Toy in here, Wired, A-Hall 86, Joniel Franco, obviously David Ware, appreciate you, NCSL Football, Marion, I don't have my glasses right now, guys, so don't kill me here. TXAG15, Crockett Athlete. We appreciate you all being here. I saw Nighthawk earlier, Hunky Dory. We appreciate you guys being here again. Providence looking for their first win in program history, an expansion team, David. I'm really excited to see them finally get that if they are able to turn around tonight.
Yeah, and it starts, like they've got to forget what's happened right now. They're down, and they need to just score right here. They're coming out of this timeout, going down low. They got a 2-point basket. That was nice. I wish they could have got the foul, but that's what they need right there, coming out of the timeout. Get some momentum going, and let's see now if they cannot get a stop. I mean, if they've got to force a turnover. They got to get a stop. They've got to. I mean, they need it bad.
Yeah, I mean, a nice little inbound play there as we see Huncho Jock taking the shot on Craig Steele. Good defense. This is good for Providence to see if they can use this in that last 2 minutes. Teasley Jr. trying to bring the ball up, stopped. Passing into Anderson up top, guarded by DeVito yet again. Passing, no, not taking the screen there. A lot of action movements here. Steele's open for the three. He shoots it, and it is good, David. They call that a three. It's an 11-point lead for UCLA.
Yeah, and Providence, keep doing what you're doing right now. Just force another missed shot, get a turnover, keep applying the defensive pressure, and get some of your shots to fall. And you got it. You come right back in this.
Absolutely. So see Huncho Jack being defended by Craig Steele. Nice play there. Nice pass by Huncho Jack to Danny DeVito. That's what's just dangerous about UCLA, David. They can run these little screens here and get open quite easily.
Yeah, and that was a wide open shot, that wasn't contested. A 3-point for Providence again, but he was not able to get it. But second chance point and one. He said, "Give me my free throw."
Yeah, I mean, I think somebody mentioned earlier, I don't know who that was, I saw you read that in chat. They would have liked him to dunk the ball when he was fouled earlier, and we just saw that. Buckets. Well done as we see him go for the 3-point opportunity here.
We got bang in chat, and that's a pretty good bang right there.
Yeah, I mean, normally that's for 3-point plays with Wired, but I would throw that in there absolutely. That was absolutely great. Not only did he posterize one player, but he posterized two there, David.
And he converted the N1, and it is a 10-point game.
Absolutely.
If they can get a stop right here, they can get in single digits.
As we see Huncho Jack, the 6'4" shooting guard, convert the shot there. I mean, those are just tough shots, and they're hitting, David. I mean, I feel bad for Providence because they played good defense there too.
Yeah, and it's going to happen, and they just have to make some of the shots themselves. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. As we see Jack bringing the ball up, going right into Steele right there. Passing it to DeVito, who passes it. T-Baggins on the outside, going right back to Jack. The ball movement for UCLA is looking really great here. Cotton getting the screen from T-Baggins. Jack is wide open, and he hits it again. A beautiful screen play for the open shot, David.
Yeah, UCLA back up 15. They're not taking their foot off the gas. You got to love that. They got the lead, but, wow. Buckets.
Buckets
Huge
is doing everything in his power here, David. Jack is bringing the ball up half court. Good if it goes. It doesn't. It rims in and out. David, UCLA has 48 here. Providence is 35. We'll take a quick little TV timeout, and we'll come back here towards the middle of the halftime show.
All right.
Alrighty, David, as we look at the stats that are about to come up, initial impressions here, looking through some of the reviews, again, up to no good, really bullying in the paint. What are some of the impressions you're seeing here from UCLA, and I'll go ahead and take Providence. Why do you think UCLA is winning so far?
They've got several people getting involved, and they're down low, they're at the 3-point line, they're moving without the ball, which is critical, and their defense is not made many mistakes. Everything Providence has had to work for. So you got to love the energy and the effort by UCLA.
Absolutely. And again, as we look at the stats here, 66%, David, and leading in every other stats, tied up for blocks with 2. But UCLA, I think they're just taking better shots. They're using the screens that their teammates are giving them, and that's a big reason for this lead.
Yeah, I do feel like UCLA's had more than 2 blocks, but they've made a lot of plays.
Absolutely, and they sure have as we again return from the second half here. Scores are going to be flipped. I do apologize here. I'm sorry, it's not flipped. It actually looks good there. Always a nice surprise in 2K as we see UCLA with the lead here, 48 to Providence 35. You echoed this earlier, David, but if I'm Providence's coach, you've seen a lot of really good things. You're down 13, but it's been close. I mean, you get a couple stops here, get Avery going like you did in game one. I think they could get back in this.
Oh, definitely. We've seen teams come down from a lot more than this. I mean, they could go on a 2-minute rip and be right back in this game.
As we see a good shot there by Tripp, no good. I mean, I love it. It was wide open as we see Tamano get the pass here. Sacramento with the no-look pass to Akeem Ingram. Just disrespectful there, David.
UCLA starting the second half, kind of just how they finished the first half. Just doing, forcing their will on Providence right now.
Again, absolutely. You see Rosary. I'd like to see them go back to buckets here. He had a great second half there. Trying to get it there. Steal by Ingram again. UCLA is known for their defense. I don't expect that to change with O'Good as he pass here again to O'Good. The post hook. No good. The offensive rebound. Getting it himself. David, you talked about it last night. You love when players follow their own shots.
Yeah. And he fouled it and he put it right back up, got 2 points. And that's going to be critical for any team who wants to win.
Absolutely. As we see Providence again, Tripp is open there for a second. Shots just not falling. I like what I'm seeing from Providence here, David. Shots aren't going their way. As we see a pass to O'Good, cutting O'Good, no good by O'Good there.
Yeah, they're getting great rotations. They're making a lot of great passes. They're just not getting the ball to fall down. And UCLA with another block.
Yeah, another great defensive play for UCLA. O'Good deciding to chuck it up just because. Tabano with the follow. David Ware.
Dunk. What a dunk.
I saw Mario Tabano in chat earlier. She was hyped up. She was excited for this game. I mean, we can see it in her play absolutely here.
Yeah, UCLA has yet to score. They've got to get some points.
Absolutely.
They're down by 19 right now. They've got to score.
Providence has definitely got to do that. As we see Avery, your man here on. Oh, good. Great shot there over one of the best defenders in the CSBA, cutting the lead down to 16. That was a big bucket there.
It was, and they needed that. Now they can kind of just breathe a little bit, kind of reset. Okay, we got our points. But they've got to play some defense. They've got to stop that right there. Avery gave it an effort, tried to block it, just wasn't able to get it though.
Right, I mean, again, UCLA is reading these screens perfectly, David. If the screen's sitting out there and staying, in most cases, that's what's happening. The Providence defender is leaving his man on his own after he's bouncing off the screen, and it's just not going well. I mean, I think they've got to start playing team defense here if they want to cut this lead.
Yes, they do, for sure. And they're coming out here. We've talked about it a couple times. Let's see what they do coming out. They turn over. They tried to go down low. It just did not work out. Great steal, though. Great steal.
Great steal, absolutely. You see Rains getting that. Great effort by Rains. Again, these UCLA players, even if they don't get the rock, they're going to play hard night in and night out. As we see Bob Sacamano with the pass to O'Good. Again, Providence is fouling. I love the effort there. But O'Good to the line and potentially bring this back up to a 20-point lead for UCLA, David.
Yeah, and Tripp with his, I believe it's his second personal foul. So he needs to be careful.
Absolutely, as you see O'Good with the shot, making it a 19-point lead here. Providence, you got to really find that guy to stop these players. The thing is, O'Good's had a good game, Rains has had a good game. UCLA's just cutting to the basket, and they're just doing it perfectly.
Yeah, and they're spreading the ball around. They've got several players that have been involved. And when you can do that, it's really hard to stop everybody.
Absolutely. As we see him hit both of these, David. 20-point game here. We saw Avery hit a big basket here towards the end of the towards the beginning of this half, excuse me. But just not much since. I mean, if the Camden's not open on these screens, they do find him open there. Tough shot, but I mean, they're just relying on that right there, David. They're not trying much else.
Yeah, they've got to find something that's going to work. And right now, it's not. So, they've tried going inside. They've had a couple turnovers in the second half already going inside. They're taking the threes, and here's another one. They're not hitting.
Absolutely.
Wide open shots, and they're not hitting.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen. The CSBA players, you see Tripp with the great defense on O'Good. Let's see if they can use that as momentum here. TJ Camden with Avery 2-on-2. They decide to take a pull-up shot. Not the best shot selection there, David.
No, it's not. It wasn't the worst shot selection, but it wasn't the best either.
Absolutely. See Ingram again pulling out Tate from the paint. Again, I don't know if Ingram is the player that you're afraid leaving out there, but I mean, it's college basketball. These are scholarship players. They can all hit him if they need to.
Yes, for sure. And they've got to make some adjustments. There's still plenty of time left. They can come back if they are down by 20, but they can easily come back in no time at all. But they've got to start making plays on defense. Absolutely. They can't get much further behind.
I would love to see Ray Tate do something here, David. As we see again, defense. Tabano just out rebounding Avery there. Tabano is a beast, David. We've seen a highlight putback, nice rebounds. And Tabano's just playing the perfect role for UCLA.
He is. He's filling in, and he's not trying to be the star. Providence with a great shot right there. He called bank on that one, but it was a great shot, and that's what they need. But no, Tabano, he's been a great team player, doing whatever they need and hustling. You got to love it. You got to love the hustle.
Yeah, set up a big screen there for Raines. They're going to reward Tabano. She's going into the paint, going against Avery, and dunks it. David, where? I mean, she must have heard us talking about her. I was joking around with her, seeing if she's going to score 30. I don't think she's going to score that much with her player, but I mean, wow.
I mean, that shot was worth quite a few points in attitude points right there. That slam and then letting everyone know, that was the dunk.
Absolutely, as she forces a lost ball there by Avery. Some checking in players. Avery's going ahead and take a break on the bench, as well as Tate. Couple of momentum players. We got TJ Camden still there for Providence, and then we got Huncho Jack checking in for UCLA. I think those are going to be important players. Great steal. Another steal by Huncho Jack, David. AJ Cotton pass it to DeVito. Steal by TJ Camden.
Good defense, though. They're going to make him earn it at the free throw line. That could have been a pretty big highlight reel play right there that Providence was able to avoid.
Certainly is. That's a Jeff Mill foul, David. I'm sure you'll learn that when you get in the booth with Jeff eventually. He loves those type of fouls. He wants to see his players earn it, or his enemies. Not his enemies, I'm sorry. His opposing team earn it there.
So 24-point lead for UCLA. Providence has got to do something. We're over halfway through the third quarter. They are running out of time. They need to make some plays fast. They need to make some good shots. One possession at a time, they need to put points on the board.
I believe it there. I see Camden going to Anderson. Nice play there. I would like to see something a little more like that, David. One thing I've noticed, is I'm sure you have as well, if that initial action going to Camden most times when he's there doesn't work, they just keep trying it again. I don't mind it, but if it's not working, you got to go somewhere else, right?
Yeah, you got to, and that's why UCLA's done so well. Is they've shared the ball. They've worked great offensive rebound. Another putback, not able to convert, but you know what? 2 more shots from the free throw line.
Yes, Teasley. Again, UCLA's just killing them on the boards, shooting smart on offense. I mean, that's UCLA basketball. Play great defense, out rebound. Oh, good, and Huncho Jack take the shots, and this is textbook UCLA in my opinion, Dave.
Yeah, they remind me of the bad boys back in the 80s, the late 80s, the Detroit Pistons. I mean, the way they're playing right now, they're hustling. It's nice.
Sure is. Again, shout out to Up to No Good. Again, for people in here who don't know, Up to No Good took over midway through the season for UCLA and led them. I mean, Velez came back towards the end of the postseason, but led them for a good chunk of the season and definitely deserved the nod here for UCLA and showing again why he's the coach.
Yeah, I mean, he worked hard in the off season. He's worked hard putting this team together and trying to find the best game plan for him, and it's showing tonight that he was well prepared and put his team in a good spot.
Anderson passed it to Camden. Camden gun in the lap here with no time, forcing it up. Baznazeki passing it to Danny DeVito, going to AJ Cotton on the outside. Got TJ Camden guarding him. 24-point lead here for UCLA. Danny DeVito passing it to Cotton, who's trying to drive on Camden. Great defense by him. Pass it to Huncho Jack, who takes the shot, David. Wow.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. Great moving the ball around. UCLA did a good job. They tried to create something there, and they did. And great execution by Jack to get that shot down.
As you see TJ Camden take the tough shot. Nice follow by Novacek there. Again, Providence isn't out of this, David. but they've got to improve and they've got to do it fast.
Yeah, and they've got to get some stops. They've got to go get they've got to get momentum going in their way, and they've got to stop UCLA right now. And they've got to stop these offensive rebounds. That is for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see the stat when you and I look at it later. I mean, what I've noticed a lot here is, UCLA's guards and forwards, they're getting beat, and then the centers are forced to help. And when the player that the center is guarding, he's wide open for the offensive rebound. It's just, and nobody's helping him on the backside, David.
Yeah, and that was a 15 foul for Providence in this quarter already. So foul trouble, they're fixing to be in the bonus here soon.
Yeah, I mean, again, Providence played great against Kansas last game, kept it close. So they had a run there at the end, almost got it. I mean, they've had some really great games. Again, I do think they'll turn around. There's more than enough time. They played close against UNLV. Again, a 6-point loss to Kansas in the preseason, David, and then a 7-point loss to a UNLV who's got studs. They have got all the tools. They just got to piece it together.
Yeah, and their games, these are some good teams that they're playing. They're really getting battle tested early, and they're going to be able to take this and go to conference play. And they're seeing some things that are working, some things that aren't. And I've got full faith that Providence is going to be a force to reckon with this season.
Absolutely, as we see Novacek with the missed pass, DeVito going to Linden on the outside, guarded by Craig Steele, going back up to DeVito, who's got a power, I think a center on him actually. Mismatch going to Marshall, the walk-on player. Marshall getting the shot there. Nice move by Douglas Marshall, David.
Yeah, and they moved the ball around, and they had to take that mismatch. I mean, that was a big-time mismatch.
Absolutely. You see Craig Steele trying to get in some momentum here, passing it to Novacek. Again, he's just going right at this walk-on. Nice move there, David.
Nice shot. Novacek right there with a big-time play.
Absolutely. As we're winding down this third quarter again, David, I think you and I have mentioned this several points tonight. I think just UCLA, just the offensive rebounds have just favored them, and just their team defense has just kind of led them to this lead so far.
Yeah, good shot right there. That wasn't the best looking of shots, but hey, you got 2 points on the board. It's a 25-point game, and a block. I mean, Providence is starting to show some life on defense. They're getting some stops, and they're scoring some points. Let's see if they can continue as we get ready to go into the fourth quarter here.
Absolutely. Marshall, again, the walk-on with the offensive rebound and the putback here. Again, that's what's so great about the CSBA, David. Anybody can score here as we see Providence get the turnover. Green chips. I had my point guard in the last game score 16, David. Walk-ons can score. I mean, that's what I love. Anybody can have a great night.
Yeah, especially when you get the whole team involved. I mean, it's easy for it to happen.
Absolutely.
You want to make sure everyone's getting the opportunity, and it's harder to game plan. We mentioned it earlier. You want everyone to be available to take a shot if it's there for them.
Absolutely. As we're closing out the third quarter, going into the fourth, UCLA, it's going all their way tonight. I do think Providence, they can get some points here, keep this close, but they are down 27 as we go into the end of the third. And we are back here, CSBA. David Ware, again with me in the booth. We're looking at the State Farm assist of the game. Oh, good with the alley-oop tip. I thought it would have been an alley-oop dunk that he had, David. But maybe State Farm is looking for a finesse move, possibly?
Yeah, it kind of looked like it was a no-look tip, though. Like he caught it and wasn't even looking at the rim when he tipped it in. So maybe that's why they picked it. It was nice, but yeah, the dunks were a little bit more attitude behind the dunks. But hey, that's not that bad of a play.
Yeah, I mean, that highlight is kind of patented UCLA. They're not going to have any sexy highlight moves. They're going to have a nice occasional play. But, I mean, they're just going to work, and they're going to beat you down. As you see, Ingram getting fouled right there, David. Again, Ingram, Sir Buckets is trying his best, but these these big men are fighting tonight.
Yeah, and they're forcing Buckets to make some plays. I didn't get to see how many fouls he has already, but I know he has a couple. So he's got to be careful down there because Buckets has been one of the playmakers for Providence, and they really need him on the court.
Absolutely, as UCLA Ingram is at the line hitting the first, 76 to Providence's 48. Ingram, not the best free throw shooter, so for UCLA, you like seeing him hit those against centers who are dominant in the post. And, they get fouled quite often. It's a huge luxury to have good shooters.
Yeah, it is. And especially the way UCLA has been playing, they've been playing very physical. They've been getting to the line, and they've been making their shots. That's great execution by them. We've seen teams miss, and they don't win the game. And so love what I'm seeing from UCLA from their bigs.
Absolutely. Say Linden going up on Fox there. Carb inbounding the rock. UCLA playing great again. Steele had an open shot there, David. You and I said this a lot. It just didn't fall for him. I mean, you really can't feel bad about it. I mean, you can feel bad about missing, but the plays are going well for him. Again, Steele open, passing it to Buckets, who hits it. Nice play there, David.
Yeah, he was just inside from the three-point line, so it's a two-pointer. But it was a nice shot nonetheless. He had an easy shot. He took it. A lot of good ball movement on that play. A lot of without the ball, a lot of players moving. I thought it went really well for them. That's what they need to do if they want to try to make this a game again.
Absolutely. See DeVito taking the screen from Ingram, getting the switch. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Is there enough time to get to Ingram? There is. 2 seconds. Is he doing a fadeaway shot? And he hits it. Oh my goodness, David.
There might have been a little bit of a height mismatch right there. I'm not for sure on that one.
Just a little bit, maybe a foot and 3 inches, nothing too crazy though.
Yeah. I mean, they should have blocked that shot.
Yeah, I agree. For sure. As we still see Steele getting the ball there. Fox getting the screen, going all the way up, not passing it, decides to go up against Ingram and he hits it. Walk-ons are getting a lot of time here for both sides, as the Libertines just said, and I'm kind of impressed with what I'm seeing, David.
Yeah, you like to see the walk-ons getting to play and be, when they do play, at least they're being effective. You don't want to see walk-ons on and just not getting anything done. They're coming out and they're trying to show that they deserve a scholarship too.
Absolutely. As we see, Providence is waiting to get Steele open. Steele gets the ball here, got the defender on him, driving, going all the way and no good. Good shot, just again didn't fall there. Good defense by the defender there, Marshall. As we see passing up to Barrett, decides to pull up and he hits it again. Things just going UCLA's way tonight, David.
Yeah, I would like to see Man of Steel try to dunk that, draw a foul, at least try to force their will. Even if they can't come all the way back, at least take this game as momentum moving forward. But that was a nice pass right there.
Absolutely, it sure was. Again, Steele a great player there. I think as long as he gets more acclimated to the system, gets more comfortable in the game as well, he's going to be a really great player here for Providence.
Yeah, and it was none other than Buckets the third with the shot there as well.
Absolutely, Buckets your favorite player for Providence, David. Great point there, and thank you for adding that in for us.
He's making a lot of shots tonight, and he's been a playmaker for them. And they've got to find a way to get some of these other names, Ray Tate and Rick Avery. They've got to get them making some plays and helping Buckets out.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree anymore. As you see Steele check out, it's like Royce Anderson the second and Tate are checking in. Let's see what Providence can get here. This game, it's not over. We've seen crazy things. I don't know if that's going to happen tonight. But if you're Providence here, you just want to get some momentum here as you go into the final game of your non-conference schedule.
Yeah, Tate lost control of the ball there. Would have liked to see him do a little bit more. Looked like he was trying to handle a little bit too much for a big guy.
Couldn't agree more. As we see Fox there passing it out, getting it to Marshall there, bringing it up, going to Sacamano, going up on the walk-on there. Sacamano sitting it again. UCLA with 85. I believe the record, David, I don't know if Shane's in chat or Wyatt or Nighthawk, I think it's 98. I don't think we've seen triple digits before.
We got a shot the way UCLA is playing.
Sure
and,
do.
On offense, they're pulling the bigs out, out of the post, and that's exactly what they're doing right there. They're getting some shots and still getting some rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got Carr there, bigger forward for Providence, you can't have a point guard Sacramento out rebound you. You've got to keep working if you're Providence.
Absolutely. First team foul for UCLA. Providence needs to try to force the issue. We got 3:35 left in the fourth quarter. They need to get to the foul line, that's for sure.
They sure do as they go to Tate on the outside again. More of a paint player. He does not have the shot here, so it's interesting to see what he's doing out there. Post play going to Fox up top. Maybe a little pick and pop here. 1-5 action. Fox going the other direction. Deciding to go all the way up and no good. Good defense there. Good defense there by Sacramento.
Dylan LeBlanc said that Oklahoma State scored 97 on them. So 97 is at least, I know, is one of the highs.
Well, thank you there, Dylan. We appreciate you, man. The Notre Dame coach, appreciate you showing up, my man. To see Anderson bringing the ball up, getting stopped there by Sacramento as he's passing it to Ray Tate. Tate had a mismatch down there, decides to not go against it, which is interesting. Maybe they are now, David. There we go. Nice little mismatch here for Providence.
Yeah. You know, at first kind of looked like Ray Tate was kind of scared to do anything, and he passed the ball right back when he had that mismatch. But hey, he finishes, he gets 2 points, and let's see what he can do now.
Absolutely. You see Leiden passing to Banazaski. Sacramento was open there for a minute, decides not to shoot it. Usually he's playing great team ball here yet again. Story of almost the entire night, David.
Yeah. You know, they're trying to eat up some clock, it looks like, because they definitely could have took some shots. Look, another offensive rebound, another putback. Second chance points have been huge for UCLA all night long.
They sure are. It's 89 UCLA to Providence's 56. I mean, the walk-ons getting offensive rebounds. That's kind of been the story of the night for UCLA. They're just a great rebounding team, and as Baz Nazuski gets the 4th foul there, I mean, it's just playing great all around.
Yeah, one more and he'll be on the bench, but you know, hey, you got to love that Providence is still driving. They're not laying down. They're not getting shots to fall, but they're not giving up either. So I love the heart that Providence is showing.
Absolutely. I know quite a few players on that team. Got Ray Tate, Hunky Dory. You've got T. Harris. A really great group of guys there who I know are bought in. I bet you that locker room's a great time. I know they will turn around, David.
Oh, there's no question. You know, this is a tough game for them. UCLA is a great team, so even if Providence is firing on all cylinders, this was going to be a battle for them, and they're going to be fine. I think that team will take this game and they're going to apply it, and I expect to see some adjustments, and I don't think we'll see the same Providence next week.
Absolutely not. Some of those adjustments, they could be playbook, you know, utilizing different players, get shooters open, driving. I don't know this Providence team. I can't really say what I think would be best because I just don't know them like T does. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he adjusts as UCLA gets another rebound by Ingram. Tate eventually takes that down for Providence.
Yeah, Ingram with a great rebound, another great shot. Didn't get it to fall, but it sure looked pretty nonetheless.
Indeed it did. Excuse me, David. Long work day as we see Fox bringing the ball up, fouled by Sacramento. The walk-on Providence. I mean, like you said, they're fighting. They're playing great here. We got 120 left here. Let's see what our second and third game, the nightcaps are. Do you happen to know them, David?
I can tell you what they are. They are game number 2 being Oregon at Ohio State, and game number 3 Wisconsin at Villanova. Both those are going to be some good games.
Yeah, for that Wisconsin game, yeah, I'm sorry, Nighthawk added that. For that Wisconsin game, I mean, shout out to Coach Cutlife. I give him a lot of shit in chat. He's just a good sport about it. But he's got a great team with Jaden Passion and Copley. Villanova with Joey Phillips and Co. They had a tough game last one. And again, Oregon's got Misfit. And then Ohio State's got my boy Jacoby. Those are going to be great games, David.
Yes, they are. You want to see Providence finish strong here. The game, they weren't able to come back, but you want to finish strong. You want to make another shot or two, and kind of just carry it in next week and get ready. So let's see what they can do here and maybe avoid a turnover and get a good shot.
Absolutely. See Fox, the walk-on.
There it is, a 3-point shot.
Yes, Fox, the walk-on, hitting the 3 there. Again, appreciate you, CSBA. We got Libertines, Dylan, Glass, Spongy, who did a couple gift subs. Appreciate you, Crockett, Toy. You guys have been here. Marion at ATT, I think that's Mari T in Discord, who played great tonight. As you see, UCLA with a missed shot. UCLA is deciding, Providence going back up. Ray Tate getting the offensive rebound.
Oh,
Nice play there, David.
He threw it kind of just. He wasn't even looking. He threw it like behind the back, over the head, behind the back into the rim there.
Absolutely, just UCLA bringing it up. They're going to go ahead and just walk this one out. It's going to be UCLA 91 with a dominant victory over Providence to 64. Providence fought all night long, David. I think just UCLA again with their season team. They played it and they deserve this win. What are some final takes you got here, David?
I think Providence did well. You know, they've got to get some shots to fall. They had an opportunity to make a few more wide open shots, and it comes. You know, everyone has those nights. But UCLA, they are primed. They are ready for conference play. Uh, I'm not for sure off the top of my head who they have next week, and I apologize, but whoever has UCLA better be ready next week.
Yeah, they have got Louisville next week, UCLA, and then Providence has your Florida Gators, David. So definitely something to look out for. Again, this is the first night of our Friday night hoops. David, I appreciate you joining me. We'll look at the stats here right in a second. But I'm sure we'll see the rebounds. What else have you liked from tonight, David? What are you expecting with these next two games?
I'm expecting some physical games tonight. You know, I'm really thinking that Oregon Ohio State is going to be a pretty physical game. I'm pretty excited about it, and I'm excited about Wisconsin. You know, they've added some new pieces, and Villanova as well. So I'm excited to see how they're forming their identity.
Absolutely, as I have the worst luck getting the black screen here. Oh, here we go. We'll look here real quick, David. First take here, I'm seeing 14-15 from the free throw line, 60 points in the paint. What else are you looking at here, David?
But you got to look. Providence was only got to the line 9 times versus 15 times for UCLA,
Hmm.
and you know they shot 45% from the field. They took a lot less shots, but you look at the turnovers. 8 turnovers for Providence, uh, and then UCLA only had 3.
Hmm.
So that's a huge part of this game. Um, you know, 10% shooting percentage difference is big, but it isn't absolutely too major. So Providence, if they turn the ball over a little bit less and they make just a couple more shots, this would have been a lot different game. They just got to go back to the drawing board and make some adjustments, and Providence will be just fine. I would regret I would it would be horrible for a team to sleep on Providence. Let me just say that.
Yeah, I mean, just to speak on that again, your team plays on them, so I hope you're not sleeping, David. Again, for everybody in chat, CSBA, we will be back here in 20 minutes. For my broadcast partner, David Ware, my name is Assured Fame, aka Zach Davis. We appreciate you all showing up. We will be right back with you, less than 20 minutes. Same channel, we're not switching any of that, CSBA. We're looking for you to show up and then show out tonight.